Hi everyone. So in this video, I would like to talk about the upcoming Sanctum Sanctorum set that's going to be released in August, retailing for £215 and I believe $250 in the US. So I've only seen this in LegoCon for a few minutes or so. And my first impression of this set is quite positive, I'd say. When they revealed the set, when they removed the curtains, it was pretty impactful, I'd say. I think first of all, the exterior design is really good. You can see, at least some sides of it, right? At least the camera friendly sides, I would say. I don't think this is a complete representation of the source material. You can see that it is designed fundamentally as a corner module. So you're supposed to connect it from two sides. So there are only two relatively camera friendly sides, unfortunately. Ideally, I would want it to be at least to have at least 3 camera friendly sides. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but yeah, the box art is pretty good, as good as you can get for these sort of licensed 18+ sets. And like I said, if you spin it around, you can see there are 2 relatively camera friendly sides. They did a reasonably good job in illustrating that alleyway sort of vibe. I don't like this side in particular. Like this just looks a little bit unfinished. Of course, if you connect it to other modules, then that would not be a problem at all. If you connect to the Daily Bugle, you wouldn't even see it. But as a standalone thing, I would want it to be a little bit more finished in the exterior. But overall, it looks good. It looks very well designed. It looks very 2022 in terms of the design level, in terms of the sophistication, in terms of the piece usage. In general, I think it takes a lot of inspiration from the modular set that we got for this year, the Boutique Hotel. It's essentially a more expensive version of Boutique Hotel with more minifigures, certainly. And there are 3 floors. The upper floor looks very nice to me. It looks like a proper sort of office area for Doctor Strange. I haven't seen the latest movie yet, but I do recognize some of the features. I do remember there is a Monkey King staff in here, or something of that sort, something Oriental there, and of course the hats. Yeah, so some treasure chests, some ornaments. That looks pretty good to me, and you can pose multiple minifigures in this relatively small section, which is great. And then if you look at the second floor, so this is essentially 2 stories high, I'd say. So, but it's not a full floor. It's not even a full floor in terms of the floor space, because a lot of that interior has been reserved for sort of the empty space. So for you to pose the Gargantua and also some minifigs flying around. But of course, you can't do that when the modular building is fully enclosed. So there's that. And yeah, some really good decoration. I like the library sort of vibe. I suppose these are representation of books, which is pretty good. I always like these style buildings, and I think there are a lot of fans out there who want some library-esque sort of thing. This reminds me a little bit of the bookshop modular. In fact, I think this set contains more books than that bookshop modular, which is which is kind of weird, but it's good. Because one complaint I had with that set is the lack of books, but in this set, it has more than enough books. And then the staircase is very faithfully represented. I mean, of course, in the source material, the staircase is even longer than this one, but given the constraints, and I think it will look better in person. This is actually a pretty tall section. It's tall, much taller than the minifigure heights, so it will actually look pretty respectable, I think, in person. The door looks nice, a nice sofa build, some nice decoration on the walls and on the floors. So there's even a pizza box. That's interesting. And yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. And the floors are nicely tiled up, very nice colors, very nice color usage. There's not much color blocking in the set. I think they really took inspiration from a boutique hotel in terms of how things should be colored, how the distribution. It's very artsy, let's say, which is very fitting for a set like Sanctum Sanctorum. And on this picture, you can see, the module is going. So there's a small section that can be detachable as well, which is nice. Yeah, as you can see, this floor is pretty tall. So is this floor. But in particular, this floor, it's a story and a half, maybe not two stories, a story and a half tall, and it really gives you a lot of feeling of depth, and just the tallness of the whole thing is pretty good, even though that comes at the expense of usable floor areas. And okay, so these wall sections are swappable. I always like these sort of swappable features. It gives a little bit more playability. And of course, displayability as well, because you can swap things around, you can customize relatively easily. You can customize Lego all you want, but it's good when the Lego designers give you that option right from the off, instead of you having to build your mock stuff. And then, yeah, very nice posters. The Gargantua looks pretty good. So you can swap things around using these air vent sort of things. So they're not just for display, not just for decoration, but also they do have some usage. That's good. That's good design. That's 2022 design. And that's what we want to see. That not just the mass of stuff, but also design wise, things have definitely improved. So the dimensions look a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. It's definitely a little bit, it definitely feels a little bit small, I'd say. 32 centimeters tall. So it's not even half the height of the roller coaster. Maybe not even 1/3. So that's interesting. But mass is not everything. The design also counts. But of course, for something that costs upwards of 200 pounds, you want the appearance of value, right? You want this thing to look big. But I do care about design, and I think design-wise, this has been done pretty good. Except the side, the relatively unfinished sides. I'm happy with this. I think the boutique hotel in this regard has done better. So lifestyle pictures. It doesn't look too small. It doesn't look too big either, but yeah, respectable. Minifigures. Okay. Yeah. None of them are particularly impressive, to be honest. Spider-Man, probably the same guy. Spidey seems like the pick of the bunch in terms of the intricacy of design, although he's nothing special as a character, right? He's come with plenty other sets. You don't have to get the set simply for a Spidey. Wong, not so impressive. Scarlet Witch needs slick printing. And maybe some cloth pieces or something like that, you know, just something more, something extra. Personally, I think Lego has been sort of not doing this Scarlet Witch as well as they should because they don't want to compromise the value of the CMF. I know this is just a theory, but I personally don't like that because the CMF only costs like, £4, £3.50. This set costs £215. It deserves better. And then there's Sinister Strange. There are 3 eyes on the alternate face printing, I think. And there's Mordo, isn't it? Yeah. That dude. And then Zombie Strange, Dead Strange. So these are good figures to get. Very collectible minifigures. But if there are only like 2 of these, okay, maybe we should count this guy. Although he has come in previous sets before, but not in this appearance, not this version, not with this hairpiece, but still, only 3 highly collectible minifigs in a £215 Marvel set. Not so impressive, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, if you're a huge Doctor Strange fan, I think this would be more than enough. So yeah, overall, I'm okay with it. I'm impressed, especially by the exterior, but not the unfinished portions, as I've mentioned. The minifigures not particularly good. In terms of value, I think this set is as overpriced as pretty much other Marvel sets. And I don't think this is enough to draw in regular Lego fans. I think if you're a huge Marvel fan, if you need this to go with the Daily Bugle, this is a good choice. But for most people, I think this is definitely skippable. At least it's not a day one purchase. I don't think this will run out of stock nearly as quickly as some of the other more desirable sets that are released on the same day, like the ATT, for instance. But this is a very well-designed set. So if you're a Lego city builder, which I'm not, if you're a Lego city builder, you probably want to get this. I think this is a sort of a more expensive version of the Boutique Hotel in terms of appearance. But is it better? I don't know. I think there are more minifigures. I think the exterior looks more intricate. There's less interior space, but for the interior space that you get, it is pretty satisfying. So yeah, it's a mixed bag, I'd say. There's definitely room for improvement. And especially on the minifigure side, I think they should have included the Ancient One, because the Ancient One has been an integral part of Doctor Strange's development. And since they're not limiting this set to the Multiverse of Madness, okay, they did that in the box art, but the inclusion of minifigs pretty much defeated that notion that this is purely for Multiverse of Madness, right? So yeah, overall, I'm okay with the set. I'm slightly impressed, but not nearly enough to recommend this set to anyone who may or may not be interested in the source material, because it's an expensive thing. It does not blow me away. It does not blow a lot of people away, I suppose. Maybe on first impression it would be more impressive, but if you look closely, if you examine these photos very closely and see what you get, dimension, the size, maybe even to a certain extent the number of pieces. So yeah, but make your own decision. Personally, I'm just so with this, a little bit on the fence with this one. So yeah. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.